Good morning, dear students. Welcome. Today we will learn the poem To His Coy Mistress. It is written by Andrew Marvell. He was born in 1621 and died in 1678. Marvell is a great follower of John Donne. His poems reflect the metaphysical tendencies. He himself was a great intellectual person, went to Trinity College, and later on also got the degree of BA from Cambridge University. During his lifetime, he had been associated with great people, whether these people belong to political parties or literary personalities. He himself had been many a times member of parliament for the House of Commons in London. He was elected from the his constituency, and his people loved him very much, and that's why he is repeatedly elected from there. So we can say that he had been a very influential person in that particular part of England, as well as because of his wit, intellect, he also became popular all over England. If we talk about his literary associations, then his tendencies are very similar to that of John Donne's writing, metaphysical poetry. But he is somewhat deep. So there is a philosophical note, religious note, and that is what he is different than John Donne and his other friends. John Donne had conceit, but here we will find the other philosophy in Marvel, that is almost you can say the philosophy of cavalier poets: eat, drink, and me be merry. So, in a way, you can say uh, paying attention to the reality is a note into Marvel's poems. Marvel also should be remembered for a very great thing. One thing he did, and that was his love for John Milton. Milton wrote some of the satires, political satires, criticizing the king during the Puritan period. He was to be tried, and the king was very much displeased. He might have been hanged to death, but thanks to Andrew, that he can convince the king not to try him, and that way um, Milton was spared, and that is what the friendship with Milton Andrew Marvell had. Even Milton also paid his love to the poet, and his two of the poems Andrew Marvell wrote prefaces. That is how two friends were there. They were colleagues and supporting each other. That is what we should remember for Andrew Marvell. Moreover, Andrew Marvell was very popular because of the political satires he wrote. Secretly, he had to write, but his genius could be found into that particular satires. Other poems also he wrote, and Garden became very popular, and Temple also became very popular. And within 3 or 4 months, 3 or 4 editions had been published. So this shows that Marvell was a popular poet, and he could write very well. So this is what general background is. And when such a poet dies, full condition. When he passed away, the monument and graves they were created, erected by the people of his constituency, and where his uh, personal traits have been highlighted. That here he lies one who is unparalleled to his nature, ingenious, inventive, and association with nature, loving with the people, in services to the Lord. That is what he did. So that is about his life. Today, uh, Andrew Marvell is considered as a great poet of Renaissance period, as well as a lot of interest has been aroused by some of the critics that they paid attention to Andrew Marvell's poetic works. If Marvel is to be remembered, then he only one poem has given him the lasting praise. No doubt, Temple and Garden are also very popular poems, but this is Andrew Marvell's, you can say, poem. As soon as his name is remembered, this poem comes to our mind. To His Coy Mistress. That is the name of the poem. It is the title. Title indicates that there is a narrator. He must be thinking about his beloved, and we can get the idea what sort of that lady is. That is coy, one who is very shy to the lover or to the other people. So, a woman's attitude towards one's lover has been shown. If we have to say the themes, then we can say carpe diem is a theme. Carpe diem is a word. It means seize the day. It means that take the opportunity of the particular time and enjoy it. Don't think of tomorrow. Again, I say that it is a cavalier trait of the uh, in the poem, that eat, drink, and be merry. That was the particular motto of the Cavalier poets, and that tendency is reflected here. That uh, you are young, here is a time, and enjoy it. So that is carpe diem theme of the poem. This is one. Or another theme, you can say that life is short. Then youth means energy and hot blood and dreams, love. So youth and love they go together. So wherever these two are, make the day. Means youth is short. Take advantage of youth. It is a brief period. So uh, enjoy the time. That is the philosophy of this poem, or you can say it is a theme of the poem. Another thing, if we talk about the matter religion, then it shows the brevity of the life. Life is very short, and many things, if we want to do, we are unable to do, and we do not know what will happen after the life ends. So, better in the brief period of life, one must uh, do those things which one's heart says. So that is the idea, or these are the themes. Keeping in mind, we will learn the poem. The background is here like this. There is a lover. He is with his beloved. They had time of love making, and the lady has denied. Hence, the lover says to beloved that we have wasted the time. Life is very short, and keeping in mind that particular period, we should not have wasted the time. Look, this is what the lover says to his beloved. Here, let me tell you that The poem is a sensuous one. It talks about physical love. The lover wanted physical union with the woman, but the woman denied it. She rejected physical love. And then the lover says that this is not good thing. And these are the arguments that they had time. Now it is wasted. She should have thought of it. Now he is giving the reasons why she should have submitted and had enjoyed the time. So this is the background. Let us now read the poem and understand it. Had we but world enough and time, this coyness, lady, were no crime. First two lines, they have become very popular. They have been used into various literary works, even in films also. For example, world enough and time. This is the phrase became very popular and many writers used it. But the word had shows that things that they were in the past, shows the conditional clause. Had we world enough and time means had we got the time, then coyness, lady, were no crime. Then if one is denying the fact of physical love, one rejects the things, or one woman rejects the advancements of the lover, then perhaps okay. But when the life is short, and woman should not deny the lover's advancement, she should submit, they should enjoy the life. And if one rejects in such a short period, then it is a crime. Look the word, give importance to it. Try to understand what sort of feeling the lover has. It is considered as crime. Remember, for crime, punishment can be there. So it is a big thing. Nobody would like to do any such an act that brings the punishment. So it's a crime, big thing. People are against any crime. And here for lovers, when life is short and the lady is denying, then it is a crime because there is no time. Uh, World for them is very short. World is limited to their lifespan. So that is again a very short period. And even in life, remember, suppose it may be of 70 years, 100 years, but in that short lifespan, youth is very much limited, maybe of 20 to 40 years. That is the period of youth. And then it means it is a crime. So wonderful opening. The way the lover tries to explain his attitude. We would sit down and think which way to walk and pass our long love's day. Now he gives the reason. Suppose we have a lot of years, then what things can be done? Means those things which he now says can be granted. You can approve it and you can say, okay, uh, we would sit down. Lovers would pass sitting together time on the river or in the garden or somewhere else where they would like to go and pass the time. They can sit and talk uh, long allows a day, and then they would think that which way they should walk, they should talk, and pass the time, what should be the topics of their talks, or what should be talked, what are the other things that they can bring in their talks. But these are not the things. Life is very short, as I remind you, and lovers cannot have that time. When they meet for some period, they would try to put things aside, not bringing in other matters of fashion, of various aspects of domestic life, or regarding the other social matters. Everything should be put aside when two lovers come together. And here the narrator says that, the lover says that we have no time. Otherwise, we can say that these are the things that we can talk. It means to the point. When time is short, they should enjoy. That's all. Leave everything aside and think how they can get a sweetness of their union. So we would sit down and think which way to walk and pass our long love's day. Here, look the adjective. Love's day, it's long, right? So here, it seems that in terms of thinking of adverbial related to time, day is not long, it is very short. But if the lovers have time, then it can be long love's day, and then you can perhaps waste many days together at a time. But this is not possible. Thou by the Indian Ganges side shouldst rubies find, I by the tide of umber would complain. Now, this is the one more thing he suggested, that you can go to the Indian side, you can walk upon the river Ganges, and while you walk, you may find the rubies over there. If you have time, you can walk upon there, pass time there, and by walking, you may find lot of things. You may collect rubies, and that way, wonderful things you can have in your life. And on the contrary, I may be in England, I may be passing my time then upon Amber, because he is the member of parliament, listening to the people, paying attention to their complaints and taking them to the parliament. So, uh, if he has time, he would go to his constituency, meet the people, and listening to them, he would pass the time. It means he would do his work, and the lover, his beloved, would do his work. Both would be at various places and passing the time, doing their particular respective works. But remember the argument, if we have time, means they have no time. So there is no any question of going to the Indian river Ganges and finding the rubies, jewels. And here he is not paying attention to people complain and going to there and meeting them. So these things should be put aside because they have no time. These are the some contemporary allusions. Those things have entered into the poem. I would love you 10 years before the flood, and you should, if you please, refuse till the conversion of the Jews. Here are the some things exaggerated. He says that love you 10 years before the flood. 10 years, okay. But before the flood means, where would the flood come? Here is the biblical reference. The flood which we find in the Bible, Noah's ark, and God destroyed everything. Means when the judgment day comes, the world would be destroyed, there would be great flood, and everything would be lost down. Ultimately, people would also uh, lose their lives. Means death for all, judgment day. So if you are having the fixed time that the flood will come on a particular year, then before 10 years of that fixed date, the narrator will begin to love. Look, this is fun. Or you can say, can we imagine? Can we say, have you any idea when would the flood come? When would be the last day of the earth? When would be we all destroyed? So time 10 years before that, we cannot say. What does it show? Infinite time. We do not know when the world would end. So continuously he would love. That is the meaning. That is what exaggeration means. For the lifetime, many, many years, he would continue to love. And if you please refuse, I will continue to love for many, many years. And for many, many years, you may continue to refuse. Again, here is the date. At what extent the lover should refuse? Then, till the conversion of the Jews. Now, in Christianity, it is believed that Jews cannot be converted. It is almost beyond impossible. Till the last day. Means when the existence of the world is there, Jews will not be converted. Uh, all the time, Christian people try to convert Jew people into the Christianity. And Jew people are against it. They don't accept the rules of Christianity. They don't obey. So there is a conflict between the Christians and the Jews. And Christian people believe that when the world would end, and then they would be converted. Again, we do not know that when the flood would come, when would be the end of the world. It means during the lifetime, Jews will not be converted. So here it is a possibility in future, in time to come. So the lover wishes that till that period, for many, many years to come, when the Jews will be converted, till that infinite period, you may refuse. No. Right? So the narrator says that these are the long drawn things. They are beyond expectations. They are not in our hands. And you should not actually refuse. That is the meaning. Here the lady says no for physical love. And that's why the lover says that don't refuse. We had time and we should have enjoyed. But this is not a good thing. You have not done a good thing. The advancements lovers showed, you should have granted them. So these are the some of the matters of the religion have been put into the metaphysical poetry. My vegetable love should grow vaster than empires and more slow. Here again, it shocks us when the lover says that my vegetable love should grow. How love can be vegetable? Like the vegetable grows? What does it mean? Here, we have to understand that the growth of love and growth of the vegetable, perhaps, lovers say, by my vegetable love should grow. And look, the things are made clear in the next line. Vaster than empires and more slow. Two things have been mentioned here. Number one is the love grows very slowly, and number two, even though it grows slow, it spreads faster than the empire. It moves everywhere over the world. It doesn't restrict itself to particular territories or the regions or the empires, kingdoms. My love will over spread everywhere across the world. That may be perhaps the idea of the lover. So love is and slow, but it is intense. It is deep, and it is so deep that lover wishes to uh, convince his beloved that remember, my love is refused. You have the things, but I am also a lover that has deep love for you. My love is very, very strong. You should have understood it. You should have recognized it. You should have thought of it, but you haven't done that. So let me tell you that my love is like this. Again, we are reminded the poem, uh, "My love's like red rose," where the lover says that till the uh, things going dry, oceans going dry. And that is how love will be always evergreen and everlasting. Here also, seen over here. So my vegetable love should grow faster than empires and more slow. Eyes and on thy point. That suppose we had time, then I would spend lot of time for your appreciation. I will praise you for a long period. And suppose we are to live thousands of years, and then what can be done? 100 years I will give to praise thine eyes. Only your eyes require lot of years. Till 100 years, I will continue to appreciate your eyes. And eyes and gaze, forehead, they require hundreds of years for appreciation. You know that lovers always appreciate the parts of body of a beloved, and especially eyes are very much center for appreciation. We know that lot of songs and poems and things have been written in the appreciation of beloved's eyes, uh, because they are the parts that captivate the lover, they influence the lover, and both of them find the reflection of their love into the eyes. So eyes are very important, and they are also parts of beauty. Through their eyes, one's face uh, becomes some different thing. So eyes and the forehead require hundreds of years for appreciation. Such are your eyes. This is the thing the lover wants to say. That your eyes are not common. They are totally different than the other women. You are unique because of your eyes. I like them so much. I have been drawn to them. And another is drawn to them also. That is what eyes are. But I have no much time, and that's why you cannot say that 100 years require for appreciating the beauty. Here, appreciation for convincing the lady for love, it is the part of the thing, but that is not possible here. Thine eyes, this is exaggeration, as I told you. Nobody can appreciate any part of the body for even one day. Uh, Continuously speaking on one particular part, a sonnet is also very difficult to write. Sonnet requires only 14 lines, but the poets know very well, and common people know it also very well, that what to speak on eyes. Only on eyes, what can you write? What can you say? As much as possible, you can say your eyes like a deer or a very innocent animal, or you can say a very um, you can innocent and magnetic, hypnotic, wide, blue, black. But then, suppose you have a lot of power of language and you are very much eloquent with the particular format and have the knowledge, then perhaps you may write one lyric, maybe 20 or 30 lines, or then you can write a long poem, narrative poem. But things would be very much difficult to compare eyes and bringing other objects. Even in epics, the poets have tried, but again, it is very, very difficult. So, what I mean to say, that nobody can appreciate any part for a longer period, not one day. Here to think about years, not day or hours, 100 years. That is exaggeration. In love, exaggeration always play very important part. Exaggeration serves the role of one's feelings, how one loves. Intensity can be seen. So here when the lover says that I can do it, meaning is that my love is very much deep for you. I know what your eyes are, how magnetic they are, I know. I can appreciate, but that is not the time for us to do the thing. Had we time, then definitely I might have done. So this is the exaggeration in the poem. In metaphysical poetry, this is the tendency which we find over here. And look, then he says, 200 years to adore each breast. And then he wants to carry on his appreciation for other parts of the body. So 200 years for each breast, and but 30,000 to the rest. Breasts are appreciated, and then 30,000 years for the rest. And then hands and legs and hair and ears and lips and all parts of body. If one continues to appreciate, beginning from the eyes, giving 100 years to eyes and gaze, then you continue, and then for have 30,000 years. Now, do you think that for 30,000 years anybody can appreciate one's body? Look, this is the exaggeration. Again, I want to say. Number one, nobody can live more than 100 years, or perhaps maybe 130 years, or 150 years, maybe, suppose. But here, 30,000 years living the life. Again, if we have to remember in the beginning of the poem, suppose we have long life, many thousands of years, maybe 50,000 years, or maybe uh, more than that, or immortality of a person, then 30,000 years is maybe short time, and I may perhaps devote that much time to appreciate your body. So 30,000 years, not possible for human beings to appreciate. Idea is that had I got a long time to appreciate, I might have done. Means I know how important you are, how valuable and worthy you are to me. You are my beloved. I love you more than the world. That is what he wants to say. And definitely, one would always appreciate one's beloved like this. So 30,000. One more thing I want to say, why 30,000? Why not 40,000? Or why not 20,000? Why specific figure of 30? It has nothing to do. That number is not fixed, or uh, you can say has any relevance to it. 30 means any number the writer might have written. He might have written 20,000 also, 40,000 also. That is how the things have been mentioned. Exaggeration of one's feelings. So 30,000 to the rest, an age at least to every part. And then again he continues, an age, 100 years, then to all parts. 100 years to hands, left hand only. More 100 years, right hand. 100 years, then to legs. And that is how each part may require an age to appreciate. Continuously, he would appreciate. And the last age should show your heart. And finally, the last age should show your heart. Here is the poem. Here is the center. How the lover is. The lover's thinking is also wonderful. The lover must be a man of ideas. He must be knowing how to please a woman and how love is. When I say keep in mind, the last age should show to the heart. Ultimately, love means winning somebody's heart. You do all efforts, and then somebody gives to you one's heart. To capture somebody's heart, to win somebody's heart is not as easy as somebody thinks. And lover, they always wants to win the heart. No doubt, physique like John Donne is the matter that comes first. Through physical love, you reach to there. But this is the process. You want to go to the heart to somebody. When there is no heart in the love, it is only physical matter. And physical matters don't count so much. It is not the part of ultimate pleasure. Perhaps it may bring physical pleasure for a time being, but when somebody reaches to somebody's heart, then it is a complete joy, complete love. One can have ecstasy, as Jondan said. So, ecstasy will only and only come when you go to or when you reach to someone's heart. So, last age, the ultimate efforts bring the result or the consequences of all efforts lead to somebody's heart. This lover knows it very well that I want to win your heart, and then these efforts I will do. If we go to the contrary thing, what sort of the beloved he is? If the lover is ready to sacrifice thousands of years for his love, it means he is not a common person. Whose life he is ready to do everything. It means his love is so much intense that he sacrifices all the things. He puts aside everything. So only one lady is there. Love is so deep for him. This is lover's stature, attitude. On the other side, the woman also that sort of a stature that requires all these things. Means she is not a common woman too. The things are coming last. But again, I wish to give you an example how heart is ultimate the thing. We go to the temple now, and our purpose is to see the God's face, idol, statue that we consider the gods that is to be seen. We want to see the face of God in the temple, but it is not directly seen. No temple, rarely some temples will show God's face directly, God's statue directly. First, you go to the temple, remove your shoes, and then you take the steps. After going to the steps, then there are certain things. We have a turtle, you touch to them. Then we have a bull, Nandi in a temple. You for the comparison, how is at the end. For a lady, you deserve this picture that one has to do this. You are not a common woman. For a common woman, all these things will not be useful. You cannot attribute all these things. According to the, then you do it. If there is not a person who can have the quality as you are talking of, a common lady, lady does. I am reminded the princess of the king, the Himalaya, Lord Shiva. We know that his position is very very high. So if they also raised herself